When the bully suddenly launched an attack, the woman immediately grabbed her gun to fight back. However, the bully fearlessly charged forward, pulling out a second axe hidden by the door. After a moment of silence, the woman moved toward the door, only to be ambushed by the bully, caught off guard, and disarmed. Just as the man prepared to subdue her, the woman suddenly delivered a powerful shove, then stepped onto a stool and delivered a strong backward kick, causing the bully to stagger in confusion. Finally, she threw the bully into the corner, and a gunshot echoed in the room as the man fell at her hands. Yet the woman was not satisfied and walked elegantly toward the bus. Soon she boarded the bus, where an elderly man slowly rose from his seat, revealing himself as her true target. The old man quickly drew a gun from his bag, attempting to find an opportunity to take her down, but the woman was faster.
A few hours ago, the boy played a joke on the teacher in the corridor, so when school was over in the evening, the teacher asked him to stay behind alone to write a self-criticism. Unexpectedly, it was this punishment that made Jack develop a new understanding of the teacher. Immediately afterwards, and asked him to spit out the chewing gum in his mouth. He thought the teacher was angry. Who would have thought that the next second, the teacher directly stuffed it into their own mouth and chewed it repeatedly, with an enjoyable look on their face. But it didn't end there. Then the teacher took Jack to the office and had a serious talk with him about his studies. After that day, Jack seemed to have suddenly had an epiphany. Even at the school assembly, he could interact with the teacher and answer questions, especially on Jack's test paper. The classmates behind him wanted to peek at his score, but unexpectedly they saw that message and were all stunned for a moment. Soon, at another school assembly, Jack's voice came from behind the curtain, which made all the students in the school whisper. Seeing this, the principal quickly got up to calm the situation, and then asked someone to raise the curtain. But at the moment when the curtain was raised, everyone present was shocked. When the teacher saw this, they hurriedly left the scene, leaving Jack standing there alone. At this moment, applause rang out across the whole venue. Watching his classmates cheering for him, he knew that he had become an example in everyone's heart.
The woman turned around and saw a steel pipe weighing 100 pounds crashing towards her. She immediately threw herself to the ground and barely escaped. However, the pedestrians on the ground were not so lucky. Some of them were knocked down, and some were still seriously injured. Before they could react, another danger struck. A crane directly hit the building, and a corner of the building collapsed instantly. The woman didn't have time to run and fell to the ground. In despair, she grabbed the telephone line, but the cable couldn't bear her weight and soon broke. She slid to the edge of the building, and her fate was uncertain. At this moment, a journalist happened to capture this scene from below and recognized her as the daughter of a nearby police officer. After hearing the news, the police officer immediately picked up the camera, looked up at his daughter, and silently prayed. However, the danger continued. A desk suddenly fell from the sky, and the next second, the woman was pushed into the air. Fortunately, she managed to grab a protruding pipe in time, but an even greater danger quickly approached. The crane was flying at a speed of hundreds of meters per second. In the end, the woman was knocked flying by the huge impact.
Every day, the woman would ride her bike around. This made the men in the small town very excited, even drawing the attention of a passing priest. Facing these greedy gazes, Lisa didn't care at all. When she stopped and parked her bike, the men would eagerly rush up to check it out. But Lisa had a very traditional fiang. Every time she tried to play games with Mike, he would refuse, saying he wanted to save that sacred moment for their wedding night. This made Lisa very angry. One day, Lisa went to work at a wealthy man's house. The man was a photographer with an artistic side, often taking pictures of young girls. This made Lisa curious, so she secretly watched him take photos. What she saw shocked her completely. The next day, Lisa immediately invited Mike out, hoping to play games together, but Mike still refused. As time, Lisa was truly furious. After a big argument, she went to a bar. To get back at Mike, she deliberately started dancing in the middle of the hall, instantly attracting the attention of every man in the room. Soon the men around couldn't hold back any longer, stepped forward and danced with Lisa. This made Mike furious. He immediately turned off the music and got into a fight with the men around him. In all the chaos, he didn't notice that Lisa had already left the bar. When Mike chased out, Lisa had already gotten into a taxi. But what Mike didn't know was that as soon as Lisa got into the car, she passed out. A crisis was about to unfold. The boy began to have some special thoughts about the nanny at home, but the nanny wasn't angry. Instead, she thought the boy was a bit childish. However, the boy still didn't give up. He kept trying to attract her attention. That day, the parents went out unexpectedly. Only he and the nanny, Nana, were left at home. Seeing the opportunity, the boy specially prepared a dinner. He also invited Nana to watch a movie with him. He deliberately tuned the channel to a horror movie, because he had read online that watching a horror movie together could make people closer. Sure enough, in the tense atmosphere, Nana subconsciously grabbed his hand. The boy was excited inside. He wanted to show himself further, but Nana immediately realized it,
and seriously reminded him to know his limits. The boy lost control of his emotions for a moment. Nana was very angry. She decided to tell the parents about the situation. This made the boy panic. He finally realized that he had gone too far. When Nana came to her senses, she found herself tied up by Jack.
Mom.
At this moment, the boy truly experienced the cost of growth for the first time.